Welcome back to After the Pull. And webheads, it's time to unite. That's right, guys. Welcome to After the Pull. This is episode 14, guys, otherwise titled A New Era of Avengers Begin. Now, when we see this show later on, you'll see what I'm actually talking about. But, guys, welcome to the show. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy this week's show. I read about 6 or 7 comics, and we're going to be talking about them here today. So before we get going, I got to do the normal thing, right? Please, if you like this live stream at any time, guys, subscribe, like, hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications from me. And always, if you're in the position to throw in a super chat here and there, that would be greatly appreciated, as it obviously helps this small channel. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have a good time today, guys. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. The first book we're going to be talking about is, let's see, I forgot my mouse. It's in the other room, so I'm using my fingers here. Scream issue 3. Okay, this is a book that ties into the whole Absolute Carnage storyline. So if you guys haven't read Scream and you're into Spiderman and you're into the Absolute Carnage thing, and if you're into Null and if you're into all that cool stuff, you might want to check this one out. Okay, the next book we're going to be talking about is Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle issue 1. This is a new Spider-Man series. It's a limited series. It's 1 of 5. This one was released this particular week. We're going to go into discussion about this one, if maybe you should pick it up or not pick it up. All right. Next one we're going to be talking about is X-Men issue 5. We're going to be talking about that today as well. X-Men books seem to be pretty good. A lot of people are still reading at least the main title and maybe a couple of the other ones as well. So we're going to go into detail about that book, as that one went a little crazy this week too. All right. Next, we're going to be talking about the second issue of Tom Taylor's Suicide Squad. This is issue 2. Yeah, this book was pretty good as well. And then next, we're going to be talking about Thor issue 2. Again, the second issue to Donny Cates's new run on this title as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun talking about that issue also. And then we're going to be talking about Avengers of the Wastelands issue 1. Now, this in the Avengers and the title of this kind of go hand in hand, and we'll go into that topic later on. So we'll talk about Avengers and what would you like to possibly see from maybe Avengers of the Wastelands. So, so thanks, guys, for tuning in and watching the show. Got a few comments before we get started. So let me welcome everyone to the show real quick here. All right. So first things first is we had Andrew, who's a regular on the show, and just sits there and says, "Hey, Mike, I won't be able to join the stream today. I have a work function to attend to." Boo. But I'll catch the replay. Enjoy your books, webheads. All right. So thanks for even, putting in a comment there, Andrew, and hopefully you will enjoy the replay. All right. Next, Rob is on. He says, and then there was one. So this was obviously pre-show because we have more than one person right now. Slime joins the show. He goes, one waiting, and I'm the one. So, yes, this was all pre-show. And now there will be 2. Coffee joined the show as well, and he said, sup, y'all? So Coffee's on the show, so welcome. And Gary Miller's on and says, Suicide Squad 2 was a lot of fun. Loving the book so far. Yeah, we'll get into that. Tom Taylor's awesome. And then Coffee Breath has the old spider symbols going on in there. Eric is on, and he says, Mikey, so welcome. Rob says, LOL, now 8. So, yeah, let's keep going. Let's get this number up there, right? Let's get into at least the 20s, then I can say I have a viable audience, right? And I appreciate the guys that are watching, but we got to get this thing rolling, right? We got to get this thing growing. And Chi-Town Bud every week with the thumbs up. He says, you're the man, Mike. And Rob's like, whoop. So Coffee Breath is going insane because now he's showing heads. So it's web heads. That makes sense. Couldn't make out the icons too well there. Right. And Tom's Comic Book and Reviews is on the show, says, what's up? Grandpa's on the show, says, hello, Mike. And everyone, what did I miss? You didn't miss shit. You did not miss anything at all. I'm just giving the shout outs to the webhead community out there, letting you guys know that we're about to get started. You know, I went over the recap of the books that we'll be talking about and letting everybody know who's on the show right now before we get started. And then last but not least, we have Michael Galliant, who's on and says, hey, everybody. So as always, guys, like I say, give this video a thumbs up. So if you're watching, I have 11 viewers. Let's give it a thumbs up. Let everybody know that this one exists. And Tevia joins earlier this time, and he says, what is up? So let's get going. Let's get started. Let's not waste any more time. Let's hide the ticker because you guys know to subscribe and you go to the like. All right. And let's talk about the first book today, everybody. And the first one we're going to be talking about was, what did I say? Oh, wait, this is always important. Let's talk about the comic books. And warning, it's spoiler territory. So if you have not read your comics yet, guys, please read your comics, okay? Then come back and watch this off of the replay. I think that's kind of important because I don't want to spoil these comic books for you if you don't want to get spoiled. All right, so the first one we're going to be talking about is Scream. This is issue 3 of the series, and I want to thank all the 14 viewers that are watching right now. So Curse of Carnage, okay? So Scream is a book that comes right out of Carnage, and what we learn in this particular issue is that Null is coming, and it looks like it's going to have an effect on this book as well. Okay. We find out that all these little pieces of some weird symbiote at one point are all infecting people underneath the ocean that maybe were dead or whatever. It's kind of weird out there. It's like almost one of these books where you have to read it. But in the grand scheme of things, right, we get to see this battle with Null's dragon, the Grindel or whatever it is. And we get to see that Thor did battle against this. Now, this book did a great job artistically of showing this flashback, and hopefully you can see it here. I got to fix somehow the lighting in here because it's screwed up and it messes up with the way the video is broadcasted. So whether I got to turn the lighting off or less light from the garage, but whatever. Anyway, Grendel, the trials and tribulations of being a low budget YouTuber, right? Anyway, we get to see Thor, who actually does battle against this Grindel. He actually defeats it. Then the mother comes and is looking for revenge. And it happened years and years ago. And now this mother is the thing that's in the bottom of the ocean that's causing all these pieces of its symbiote to spread out and affect other people. It's kind of weird that way. But what it's doing is it obviously wants, what's it called? Scream to be part of this hive or whatever the case may be, and it was just this big lengthy battle against this mother of the Grindel and Scream. And by the time we get to the end of it, we get to see the mother actually possess Scream, and it gets to go into Andy's I guess, what do you want to call it, deepest memories or things that she wants to remember, to have her at ease, to have her at peace and whatnot. So yeah, pretty cool book. Again, the artwork is the cool thing about this. It just makes it very gritty. It's very horrific like, and I love seeing these flashbacks of Andy. You know, she gets to see Flash Thompson in here. She gets to see her mom. She gets to see her dad and things like that. So again, the mother wants the Scream symbiote to, you know, I guess be a part of her and maybe get rid of Andy and have her in like some coma state. I don't know. It's cool. It's all right. I'm curious to see what's going to happen when it comes to how it ties into the whole Null storyline when Null eventually does come to Earth. How long does that take? I don't know. We just know that he's been set free and he's making his way here. So again, pretty cool. If you like symbiote stuff, I say pick this one up. It's not necessarily you have to, but I think you might like it if you're a fan of like symbiotes and Spider-Man and all that other stuff. So, all right, let's see. We got a couple of comments here, about 10 or 11 of them. So we're going to see what everyone says. So Rob says, LOL, webheads are us. And Kristen Rogers is on the show. She says, what's up? So welcome, Kristen, to the show. Really appreciate it. Rob gives a thumbs up. Grandpa's sitting there saying, webheads unite. Everyone's got the webhead bandwagon going. I love it, guys. I love it. I love how we're this small band of community webheads, right? And it doesn't cost you really anything to be part of it, right? Just your time. Rob says, screaming for Scream. So I guess you like it, Rob? All right. Coffee says, yeah, I'm muting for Thor and Wasteland. Oh, I'm waiting for Thor and Wasteland Avengers. So, okay, he's muting it, so he doesn't want to get spoiled for it. But that's part of my topic later on. So be there for that topic. Tevia says, I just did my review of Justice League issue 39. I don't care about Justice League until it gets to 40, because that's when Tom Taylor's taken over, not Tom Taylor, Robert Venditti is taking over the book, and it's just going to start a new chapter. So I'm looking forward to it. I can understand because you've been reading it for a while, Tevia. Let's see. We got Randall says, hi, thanks for doing what you do. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm glad I do it. If I feel like I can help just one person out there make the right purchase for their comic books, or if you find me entertaining, which is kind of odd, because I'm just some guy that teaches tennis, has a family, and, loves, is passionate for comic books. I think it's awesome that you guys take the time to watch me. Tevia says, sounds very cosmic, and also says, wasn't it Mania? Yes. Bavarian's on the show. Bavarian says hello. So welcome, Bavarian. She's been following me a long time, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. Tevia says, I am burned out with symbiote stuff. I can understand that. There's been a lot of it in the recent years. But I can see, though, at the same time, it's a real character building thing with this whole Null situation. So think about it. A few years back, the symbiote was just this thing that attached to Peter Parker, went to Eddie Brock, and he just ate brains. Now look at what the symbiote actually does, right? It has a history. It has a god. There's a purpose for it. It does a lot more things. I love where they've gone with the character, but I do agree that maybe it's been oversaturated just a bit, right? Let's see. Michael has given the thumbs up. Vinny says, I came late to my local comic book shop yesterday, and all of them ran out of Thor #2. Damn it. Oh, man. When we get to Thor, we're going to talk about it. So hopefully, I don't know if you want to be in part of that conversation there, Vinny, but it's a good book. It was pretty awesome. Tevia says, question, I'm just wondering, do you think Flash Thompson is going to come back or stay dead? Tevia, that is a very funny question that you asked, because when I was reading Scream, I thought about that same thing, right? About, man, Flash has been dead now for a while, like since the end of Dan Slott's run. And I'm just like, and then Spitzer has done 38 issues of Spider-Man now. And I'm like, I'm kind of missing Flash Thompson. I'm like, I wonder if he's ever going to be dead or come back from the dead. I don't know. I kind of miss him. I kind of want him. All right. And Grandpa says, oh, he will be back soon. How is he going to come back? Why? How would you bring him back? I mean, the dude was dead, man. Pretty dead. But a lot of them do come back, right? All right. I no longer collect comics since my local comic book shop closed a few months ago, but I still keep they to keep up with it through your videos, pronounced like, oh, Seesaw. Seesaw? Okay. Seesaw is his name, but without the first S. So Esau, right? E-aw. I'm so sorry. I'm going to call you E. Then maybe that might be better. Just so I don't want to butcher your name or disrespect you in any way. But yeah, I'm sorry that your shop closed, and I'm really happy that you follow comics through me. I think that's awesome. So thank you so much for that as well. And then I got a $2 super chat. Thanks, Rob. I really appreciate it. It goes, Webhead, spin it. So that's awesome. Twip to you too, man. That's awesome. I really appreciate the super chat. It helps. That little bit helps, man. Whether it's a trade that I can pick up and maybe review to the channel, or that other comic book that that I can review for you guys, or a little bit of equipment. That little bit helps. So thank you. All right. Tevia says, didn't the symbiote turn into a car, which during your rant on the Spider-Man universe was really funny? I think it did. And I was kind of like, okay, now we've taken it too far. Like, a symbiote can turn into a car. That's a little bit wild, right? Okay, that is funny. And Kristen Rogers says, hey, Mike Rogers at work on the oh, that's right. That's right. It's Mike again. That's right. He uses his wife's tablet. So Mike, I'm sorry if I called you your wife's name. So at least you can watch the show. Always remind me of that though. Tevi goes, I know it was a long time ago, but it was still funny. I do remember that, Tevia. And then Esau says yes. Okay, good. All right, so let's move on to the next, guys. And again, thank you, Rob, for that super chat. Really helps. And thank you all for the comments. I really appreciate it. Let's move on to our next book that we're going to be talking about today. And that one is going to be talking about The Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle Issue 1. In the comments, guys, I want to know, did you guys pick this one up, or did you pass on this one? Okay. So the reason why I picked up The Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle Issue 1, just pure reason of, hey, maybe I might be interested in picking up, learning about the Daily Bugle and the runs and how it works and how it doesn't work and shit like that, right? I mean, honestly. So did I like this book? No, I didn't. I honestly did not like this book. This book was kind of lame, in my opinion. I found it boring as hell. I don't know if I'm going to be continuing this one. But what happens in this book, you get to see the Daily Bugle as when it was established, okay? And that's quite interesting. But the problem with this book is, A, it's boring. B, artwork horrible. C, not even the artwork was bad, but the coloring was bad as well. It was always too dark. I was like kind of like trying to be like, what's going on here? I'm like looking at the pages and I'm like, if you can see it, there's always, see how dark it is, like right here. And that's like the whole book, even though it's like from behind and you expect that, that's like that everywhere. Like even here too, like look at Robbie here. He's too dark, man. See, there's that. I found it so frustrating when I was reading this book. And Peter Parker looks like John Cena in a way. Like he looks a lot older, but he's got this big mouth and everything. Like I don't know what was going on, And so the Daily Bugle is like Robbie doesn't want to, he wants to change the way it's run. So he's giving people different jobs and stuff like that. And he makes Peter a photographer again, just like how he was when he was like 15 years old, and he's no longer in the science division. So it's like, okay, so he was once in the science division, which was kind of cool because it's part of the times, it's like more modern day job. Now he's just the guy that goes out on the street and takes pictures again, I guess, with a digital camera instead of him having to develop it. Then I think we get Ned. Was it Ned Leeds? Who is it? Ned or Ulrich or whatever it is, has to take Robinson's daughter out on the town and I guess show her the ropes of how journalism works. But she really doesn't, I guess she really doesn't need it. She's not doing any favors, or he's not doing her any favors because she's this social media giant. She's got like 111,000 subscribers to like Face Space, and she's got like 22,299. Like she's got thousands of people in social media that follow her. So she's just trying to get leads, to get stories, and to try to find out what's going on. Now, the big story of this whole situation was her trying to find out Spider-Man's web fluid on it taking over the city or being a problem for the city, and she's not going to find it in time because of this it's going to dissolve. Like, are we really doing this? Are we really writing a comic book about like Spider-Man's web fluid and it dissolving and her trying to find out a case of like it's weird. I don't care. Like, why should I care about this book? It was dumb. It's a dumb story. And people are complaining about this webbing that are all over their houses and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, Spider-Man's been around for how many years? And we're just seeing people complain about it now. Like, superheroes live in your community. They destroy buildings. They destroy houses and kill people and alien invasions. And you're complaining about web fluid or web lines attached to your house. It was so stupid. And then it just ends up with someone tied up in webbing. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to be continuing this book. It was pretty stupid. And I didn't like it, the artwork or anything. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this one? Did you like this one? What did you find appealing to you about this comic that was no different than any other Spider-Man book, right? There was a lack of Spider-Man. That was for sure. Spider-Man is doing some research on this duck that died while drinking polluted water. And he goes to some character from Squirrel Girl by the name of, I forgot his name, some fish guy. That was the only good part. It was pretty pathetic. I don't know. Got some comments here. Maybe you guys got something to say about this one. All right, let's see. So I got Rob's super chat from there, and then we got. All right, here we go. Slaughter Cinema. What's up, bud? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Appreciate it. And Coffee Breath passed on it for now. Slaughter says, I grabbed it today, but haven't read any books yet. Yeah, you're not missing much with that one. I thought it would be a little bit more edgier on how to get a scoop, or I don't know. I didn't care about Robertson's like daughter. Like, I really didn't. Randall said, I did pick it up. Rob says, my local comic book shop ordered was delayed and I didn't get it. Well, maybe now you can pass on it, but you never know. You actually might like it, so we'll see. Tevia says, so it was a cash grab. No, I wouldn't say it's a cash grab. I guess what I'm saying is that there's nothing spectacular about it. No pun intended, but they're trying to get you an inside look of what it's like to be in the Daily Bugle. And I think they missed that mark. The story that they're pursuing is not interesting enough for me. Okay. And the characters in the book, I don't care about. I really didn't. Like, nothing really shined. Nothing gravitated me towards it. Rob says, so when they get it, I won't get it. LOL. Yeah, right. Esau says, LOL, he does resemble John Cena. Tevi goes, so what's the point of the story? It's just him, just this chick going out and examining webs. I mean, that's basically what it is. And him studying pollutant water. Like, who knows? Bake the Snake says, hey, gang, what's shaking? Welcome, Bake the Snake. Rob says, sup, Bake? And then he goes, yo, Rob. So we're having a conversation between everybody in there. And then we have, let's say we got that. Vinny says it is a cash grab. Tevi goes, yeah, these web fluid complaints don't make any sense for these people living in the Marvel universe. Yeah, don't complain about it. Stop being babies. Oh, I did my laundry, so I'm going to I don't like when the webs shut up. Like, be grateful that there's heroes there to save your life, right? Randall says it wasn't that great. Do wish more from it. I don't know. Like, it doesn't give me a good enough cliffhanger to be like, oh, I want issue 2, right? And then Coffee goes, meant for people into journalism. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to ask my friend Kat from Comic Uno if you guys have been tuning in at all to Comic Book Weekly, which is streamed on my channel here from Comic Frontline. She's into journalism. She actually works for Newsarama. So it's Kat Comic Uno if you guys want to check out her channel. And she's really good at what she does. what she does, and she does a lot of interviews and stuff like that. And I want to see if she was actually into this book because it had more about the journalism. But I think the book that actually hit the nail on the head when it came to journalism was actually that Amazing Spider-Man issue that just passed, the issue 38, where it had to do with Nora Winters recruiting Jay Jonah to be relevant again in journalism, which was, try to do tabloids and stuff like that. And we get to see how people do the hustle. And I felt like that was more realistic than this particular book, if that makes sense. Okay. Tevye goes, reminds me on Robinson Good from Bendis Nonsense. All right, so let's move on. Let's see what we got next, guys. So we talked about that monstrosity. That, out of all the books, I think was the worst that I've read so far. Next, X-Men issue 5. Who read some X-Men this week? So we're on issue 5. I want to thank the 21 viewers that are watching right now. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Once again, I'm going to remind you, I know I sound like a broken record with this, but if we want more people to see this stream, more people to see my channel, let's make sure we give it a thumbs up. It takes it a long way, okay? And then if you're new, which I don't think any of you guys are, but don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any stuff from me. All right, so here we go. X-Men issue 5. So this dates back to issue 1, I think it was, because we had that black and white girl that was in the first issue that they went to go release, and then she escaped, and I guess they went to go after. And it was from the Orchid Research Center, and the name of the character was Serafina. Okay, so she was this black and white character. So remember her. Do you remember her, guys? And what happens is Wolverine actually goes after this particular character. So he goes after her, and they go, and she makes this way into this vault-like place. Okay, and so here we get to see this vault. Okay, and what happens is this vault is like connected to this weird sentinel thing. Like, I don't even know why it's there or why it exists, but it takes you to this weird like city. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Okay, and it like analyzes you when you go into this vault. And this thing is not done by obviously human evolution. It's made by machine. So our mutants feel like this is a major threat. And so they get some X-Men involved in this to go after this female or this species of children to stop this threat. So they came up with this plan to get inside this vault. Now, the tricky thing about this vault is that time is much different. So, like, if you're in there for, like, I don't know, 5 minutes, like 5 months pass by, like, time accelerates extremely long time in that vault. So the X-Men that are going in there are actually going to experience some time loss in there, and they have to try to escape. It's this huge elaborate plan to destroy this thing or get the characters or children out of this. So I think Darwin, Sync, and X-23 are actually going to go in there. And we finally get to see X-23 or Laura make more of a significant role in the main X-Men book, which I feel like is kind of cool. So we get to see them come up with this elaborate plan to actually go into this thing. I mean, this thing is weird, man. Like, look at this. All right. So they go in here and you get to see how it like works. It's like a computer. It's so Hickman. It's not even funny, right? So they distract these kids from coming out, or the self-defense system to come out. And then what happens is the vault opens up in a way, and then we wind up seeing our X-Men. They wind up going inside, and it's like this whole different universe, this whole different world. And yeah, it's insane. And so we get to the end of the book after the plan, and it goes, let's see, it goes much later in time. It says Cyclops asks how long, and Professor Xavier says 3 months, 5 days, and some change. I guess that's how long it's actually been in real life. So in this world that they went to, this vault, the best guess in their timeline inside the vault is 530 37 years they've been stuck in there in that vault. That's how I guess the time is, or how much time has passed inside of there. Dude, it's weird. It's just so weird. And then Cyclops is like, my God, what have I done? What the hell was I thinking? How do you take a risk when the time like goes is so different there? I don't know. So when it came to X-Men, it was a little bit weird. It was, out there, and it's a really risky mission. And it's the way they sent the particular X-Men in there that they did, I thought was kind of clever. So they have a chance at survival. So they are planning for all contingencies, and they have to be very careful because they have to get out of there in a certain amount of time to get downloaded. It's so complicated. It's so Hickman, but in a way, it was a good book. It was interesting, and I feel like this book, I think now might have a plot to go forward, because I feel like all the other X-Men books, with this one's the first 4 issues, it's been a little bit all over the place. There's been no real cohesive story. So this one kind of goes back to that first issue here with that girl that ran away. And now we get to see where she was running to, because she said she had to go back. So, when we talked about this first issue of X-Men, I said it right from the beginning, right? Pay attention to that girl. That girl is going to be impactful later on in the series. Now, it didn't take as long as I thought it was. It only took like 5 issues, but I feel like now it's like, okay, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this story, and then we're going to see what happens here. So yeah, X-Men, if you're following it, you got to continue it. You got to see what's going. This is the one that you can't drop, because this is going to lead into all kinds of events and ramifications and everything else like that. So we'll see what happens with X-Men. Got a few more comments, and then we'll go on to the next one. So let's see, what do we got? Temporal space. Yeah, that's what it was. All right. There it is. Vinny says it's temporal space. Thank you, Vinny. This X-Men issue was very Hickman for me. So very, very complicated. It's hard to remember all that crazy lingo that goes. And he goes, the girl is the future of human evolution separate from mutants. And she was a threat to mutants. I think that's what they said inside there. And Tevye says, yeah, Laura, all new Wolverine. I'm so happy. Even though it was a small panel, at least he was in there, and she's part of this mission. And Matt Ryan's on, and Matt Ryan says, hey, Mike, enjoying the show. Do you feel there are too many Dawn of X titles, too many different storylines to keep straight? Matt, to answer your question, when it comes to Dawn of X, I think there are a lot of X-Men titles out there. I think there are too many, but the good thing is that at least there's something there, hopefully for everybody, that can pick a book. So if you're a fan of a certain character or a certain team, that book might be for you, or this one might be for you. I feel like these stories are at a point now where they're separate enough that you don't have to follow every single one. Like, I wasn't a fan of Fallen Angels, so I'm just not reading it, Marauders I like because I want to know what's going on with Kitty Pryde, or Kate Pryde, obviously, based off of the situation she's going through. I feel like this X-Men book is the main book that's going to affect the mutants overall. So that's the one that you truly have to follow. And then when it comes to X-Force, that one is good because it's like a task force team. So I like that group. But when it comes to Excalibur, I'm not into that one. And then they got a couple other ones that are coming out in the future. So yes, even though there's a lot, if you can force yourself to sit there and say, okay, which ones am I enjoying? Am I really enjoying them? Try not to sweat it. Just read the ones that you like, I mean, I read a lot of comic books a week, but I still don't always buy the ones that I hate. I tend to let them go. Because A, it's a waste of money, and B, it's like there's always new stuff coming out that you actually might like better. So, always keep that in mind. So, all right. Thank you for the question. Coffee says, just don't buy them all. He puts it plain and simple, right? And I was being nice. It's true. You don't have to buy them all, Don't sweat it. Tevye goes, I'm so happy Laura is back as Wolverine. I like how she stood up for herself in there. She's like, I am Wolverine. I am you. Yeah, Tevi is like, it's very complicated. Fallen Angels is done after this week's issue, I think. So that was a miniseries. I never knew that was actually a miniseries. I thought it was an ongoing. So I guess it's just a story, I guess, about Psylocke or whatnot, wherever her name is now. So I don't know. I wasn't into it that much. I know some people liked it. All right. Matt says, I don't buy them all, so I'm curious if I'm missing out on the overall plot because I don't read New Mutants or Excalibur. And I don't either. Like Excalibur, I dropped. I didn't find it interesting that Rogue was in a coma and she became like, had Apocalypse's powers. Like, I don't care about that. And then New Mutants is just the New Mutants in space, basically. And I just wasn't into that one either. But again, there's something for everybody, right? Tevi says, because I didn't like regression to Laura. Talk about X-23. And Vinny says, at Matt Ryan, you're not missing much from the Excalibur. Yep, exactly. And Rob says, hey, we're viable now. 21 chatters. 22, guys. We have 22. Let me tell you, man, we're breaking the internet right now. 23 viewers. We're just breaking it. I'm nowhere near like Gem Mint or Comic Tom, who go on there and have like 250 live viewers at one time, and there's so many comments, and they're just like flying out there. But you know what? I do the best that I can, and I appreciate you guys because you make my little show possible, right? Coffee says, it's very easy for me to skip a Marvel book thanks to Marvel Unlimited. 6 months later, you can read everything for the price of a cup of coffee. That's true. I did have Marvel Unlimited at one point, and for some reason, I don't know, my credit card expired, and then I just didn't renew it anymore. So, yeah. Even though digital reading isn't as good. No, digital reading is not as good. You know, when you get down and you read that book and you sit down on that couch and you relax and you're just like, I'm going to just dive in and read that book. And you're like, oh, yeah, I can just totally appreciate this, the artwork and flipping through it and smelling it. It smells like the comic book shop, you know, and you're just like, yeah, that's good. Getting a drink, you know, that's what it's about. Instead of sitting there going, okay, let me read my comics today. Hold on. Let me go on to the website. Let me click on that. Oh, let me scroll. Or if you have Comixology, you can tap and it gets like panel view and shit like that. That's kind of cool, but you know, nothing's better than physical copies. Will it go, you know, will it drop down at one point? Maybe. You know, maybe real comics will go away, but I hope not. They've survived like the test of time. They've been around forever. So let's keep it strong. Buy those comic book guys. All right. What's next here? What bugs me is how Wolverine is on all these teams. Yeah, that's true. Like, does all this stuff like take place at different times? You know, he's everywhere. He's always been everywhere, though. And he's not a good team player. Yeah, he is. He's kind of an asshole. Randall says, I like them, but not so much for Excalibur. Tevi goes, I thought Fallen Angels was an ongoing. Maybe it was at one point. Coffee says it started as an ongoing, now on its hiatus officially, but not many people expect it to come back. Yeah, I think it was one of those X books that just kind of just dropped off, right? Tevi goes, I love Rogue having Apocalypse powers. That sounds fun. Yeah, I don't think it's a permanent thing. You know how she keeps his powers. My favorite are New Mutants and X-Force. See, everyone's got something. X-Force is the shit, though. Like, I really enjoy X-Force. For me, that's been the most fun out of all of them. And then X-Men is obviously the main one. And then Marauders was kind of boring. But now that you see Sebastian Shaw's MO on what to do with Kate Pride, now that made that book like another level for me. So that's good. Bake the Snake is on, says, ha, little show with almost 6K subs. Don't shortchange yourself, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do have 6,000 subs, but it's taken me a long time to get to those 6,000 subs, you know? So yeah, I do appreciate it, though. I always try to keep myself honest. Like, you know, it's hard. YouTube is not an easy thing. Slime says, I don't think Marvel Unlimited makes much sense for you, Mike, since you're already swamped each week with books. It's mostly for people that can't afford or don't care to buy to be there day one. Yeah, man, I'm there day one, right when that store opens, you know, every week. I hope physical media survives. I do too. It needs to survive. And the only way it's going to survive is if people actually go out there and buy those books. Don't torrent them. Don't, get them from websites that are free. I know money's tight for everybody. But that's what you got to do is buy those books. It's tough though, because comics these days don't sell like they used to. Back in the day, they sold hundreds and thousands of copies of just one book. And the only book that does that type of sale these days is probably Spiderman and Batman. Nowadays, you're lucky if a book is good, it's viable as long as it sells like 30,000 copies a month or something like that. So it's tough. Rob likes the Marauders, and Terrific Cup says, "Hey, what's up?" So welcome, Terrific Cup. Hopefully you've enjoying the show. We're up to 27 viewers, guys. We got to break it. We got to shatter the internet. Hopefully we can break 30. I think the highest on this particular show, I think, was 34. So let's hopefully you guys stay on and watch. We're going to be talking about some Avengers stuff in a little bit, but we got more books to talk about. So let's go move on. So the next book we're talking about is Suicide Squad issue 2. So Suicide Squad, who read issue 1? I did. Did you? Are you reading issue 2? Was it good enough to pick up and continue it? I liked it. I thought it was good. My only problem with this book is since we have a bunch of new characters in here, I can't seem to grasp onto a character yet, right? Harley Quinn, so that's always going to be a given thing. King Shark, he's one, that's been around. He's kind of cool, right? Deadshot's another one. But besides that, though, the characters are kind of lacking for me. And right away in this issue, you get to see them this president gets assassinated. Okay, so bang, right in the freaking, head or whatever it is. And Deadshot's beside himself. He's like, oh my God. And they were supposed to protect this president. So something horribly has gone wrong here. So you see basically what happens, right? You basically see that's at the end of the book, basically, and you see it from the beginning. So you go flashback to yesterday, and you wind up seeing some of the other characters interacting with each other. Like you got this Finn guy. I think that's his name, right? Finn. And his twin brother got killed in the first issue. And the interactions between him and King Shark were kind of cool. And they're forced to work together. And they're basically given this mission to protect this president. That's the whole thing. And so you get to see some character interactions. You're trying to learn about some of the characters, like Winx, who's like a Nightcrawler. Like she can touch people and she can teleport them away. So they have to go to these places, and basically all it is they go to this place. People are shooting at them. They're fighting everybody. They're not exactly all friends to team yet. They're trying to get to learn about each other and whatnot. And then what happens is we wind up seeing, when it comes to the protecting the president, the Suicide Squad, right? It's fake. It's like this setup, okay? And I think her name Ozita is her name. This Terminator-like chick, okay? She shoots herself in the arm, and you see that from the beginning, like someone shot her, okay? And you're like, oh, someone shot her, but no, she shot herself. And the next thing you see is that she goes and she starts shooting at that president. And then she shoots the president in the head and kills him. And it's like, oh shit, what is up with this freaking woman, right? And the next thing you see is that Deadshot is completely dumbfounded. He's trying to get a response from the new Amanda Waller, who's this guy. And she's just like, shh. And it's just like, what is up with this chick? So she sabotaged the whole mission. This president's dead. And you're just like, damn, yo, this is some serious ass shit here. So really good. I like that aspect of the book. I just need more. I need more character development, and you got to give that time in a team book. And I'll always compare this book, or I'll always compare it to like Teen Titans. Character development and team growth was an absolutely phenomenal I can't talk, was phenomenally done when it came to Adam Glass's writing. Okay. So hopefully Tom Taylor does the same thing here. And god damn, my back hurts, man. I need a new chair. Whew. It's the most uncomfortable chair ever. But anyway, good book. I definitely say pick this up. You guys won't be disappointed with this one. I think this Suicide Squad has actual real potential here. All right, let's go. Let's see what we got. Zebraman. Let's see. Tevia says, also, comics are expensive from the big two. Yeah, absolutely. They're not cheap anymore, man. If comics were always $2.99, that would be great, right? I think you might sell a little bit more. And that's probably why sales are down as well. I guess you could still consider it a cheap hobby, but not many kids have like $10 on them to go out there and buy 2 comic books when they can go out there and go on to Google Play, or iTunes and download a game and play it for free for hours. So that's the difference between, that's why comics somehow has to survive the digital world, right? All right. Rob says, let me go open my second account. LOL. And Slime goes, yeah, it seems like 30K is the healthy benchmark for the non-Batman / Spider-Man books. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that number somewhere. And that's what kind of determines if a book is going to continue to sell or not. Xavier says, Zebra Man. Yeah, Zebra Man was hilarious. And then they had this one guy in the first issue named Musketeer. Deadshot actually liked him. And you know who liked him too? Me. I love that guy. He was hilarious. He's like, oh, let's go, everybody. He's just like, oh, let's go, fights by your side. And he was like this gun-ho guy. And then he wound up getting killed in the first issue. I missed him. Frank goes, Tom Taylor's writing. I'm in. Great first issue. And Rob says, that's a chick. Yeah, she is ginormous, dude. She's like Arnold Schwarzenegger size, Tevye goes, Tom Taylor's Suicide Squad is awesome and finally brings back the grit and edge this series really needed after all this time. No more bullshit. Slime says, she shot herself by the seashore. It's like that She Shed commercial from like Geico, right? She Shed. They burned down my she shed. All right. Rob says he's laughing his ass off. And Coffee goes, I still buy floppies. I think it's cool Marvel has it for people who can't keep up with the price of comics. Tevia, she's gone rogue. Yeah, she has. And who's she with? And who's she working for? Slime goes, I hate when I get tongue-tied like that as well. It's why I could never record myself speaking. Big ups to you for doing this multiple times a week. Thanks, Slime. Yeah, it's not easy, I think for me, honestly, it's easier to talk in front of a camera than it is to talk to real people. Even though I'm a tennis instructor, I guess that's not a problem, I guess, when it comes to tennis. But when it comes to talking in front of the camera, I kind of, even though you guys are there, I look at it as there's no physical being in front of me. And I don't have that thought of everybody worrying about what I am saying so much, if that makes any sense. So when I started YouTube, I just went on there and did it. I was just like, all right, I'm going to do this shit. But do you know when I did start YouTube, guys? I started it back in like 2013 or 2012, something like that. I had my original channel called Comic Book Corner. And I didn't know what the heck I was doing on YouTube, like when it came to, doing things right, or there's specific ways to do things. And so I just wanted to start my channel over again. So that's why this is called Comic Book Corner 2.0. So I started the channel, and then I actually took a break and helped my friends over on Comic Frontline to get that channel up and going. So I was out for like a year and a half from this one, right? And then I came back to it. Started going strong. Then they took away all that monetization stuff and all that crazy nonsense. And then I came back and I gained it back again. It's been like a roller coaster. Then there was all this particular stuff about people, losing their channels because it could be made for kids and all that bullshit. And I was like, this channel ain't made for kids. So I just bypassed it. But it's a lot of fun. I love doing it. And guys, we're at 32 viewers, guys. Thank you. Stay on. Let's break 35. Can we do it? We can do it. Rob's like, we're a robot. Let's see. And then right here we have figments of Mike's imagination. No, you guys are definitely not my imagination. You guys are real people. And again, you take the time, you watch, you comment on all my videos, and that's why I try to respond to as many comments as possible. So thank you for that. And hopefully you guys enjoy all my other content on here, especially when it comes to like comic book cover of the year, the most anticipated of the week, and things like that. All right, so let's move on. Next one we're going to be talking about is, if I can get it to come up, is Thor. Thor issue 2. Now, Thor is a freaking awesome book. And Donny Cates is a great writer. And I love how he puts this different spin on the actual character. Okay. Basically, if you read issue 1, it's pretty easy. He is a herald of Galactus. There's this black winter that's coming. And if this black winter comes, it's going to destroy the entire universe. Okay. So Galactus recruits Thor, and he sits there and he says, you got to come with me. I have to feed on these 5 particular planets that are going to give me the power to succumb this black winter. Okay. And so Thor agrees. He goes with them, but he's not going to be bossed around. Thor is a god. He's not like any of the other heralds that Galactus once was in control of, right? He doesn't take any shit, Thor. So basically, when Galactus goes to try to feed on these planets, he was going to destroy all the life and everything that's on it. And Thor is just like, no, that's not happening. I'm going to get the life off of here. Then you can feed off the planet. And he throws freaking Mjolnir right in his freaking hand. And you're just like, oh, dang, man, that is crazy. And he was beating him up. And so what happened is he just sat there and he just transported everybody from the Rainbow Bridge and got them back to Asgard and whatnot. And then he allowed Galactus to feed on the planet. And it was pretty cool. The artwork is really gorgeous in this book, and all the characters are really nice. And then you get to see Galactus actually feed on this planet. And Thor made this promise to these beings that you'll get your planet back when we're done. But no, Galactus just ate the whole damn thing, man. I mean, he completely destroyed it. And then they were going to have this argument, or something was going to happen. We wound up seeing Galactus winds up getting pummeled by something. Okay. And the next thing you wind up seeing is, and fans of Thor are going to be happy about this, but you wind up seeing Beta Ray Bill make his appearance back. And in the Thor book, and he's like, please, brother, I need to speak, and it's just like, oh shit, what's going to happen here? So we have 4 more planets to go before Galactus actually has enough power to supposedly defeat this Black Winter. And now we have Beta Ray Bill in the book. And we get to see the God of Thunder, or King Thor, actually still be the herald. So this is going to be interesting. I want to see the relationship continue to build between Galactus and Thor. And now I want to see what Beta Ray Bill's plan is in here. So in the very last panel too, he goes, don't make me go through you. So I don't know what to expect here, but I do like what Donny Cates is doing with Thor. It's a different take on it. It's, it's kind of fresh. Jason Aaron was on the run for so long. And so I definitely say, if you like Donny Cates, if you like his writing, he's very cosmic like. He tries to go big. Definitely check it out. I don't think you guys will be disappointed with it. All right, so let's see. We got a few more comments, and then we're going to talk about our last book in our topic, basically here. Okay, so let's see. Some comic book hunter is like, yo, yo. And Daryl Beard is like, what's up, Mike? And Rob goes, only joking, bro. Yeah, I know you were joking. And then Tevi goes, I love Thor. So I'm glad you're liking Thor there. So yeah, guys, definitely pick up Thor. All right. So next, we're going to be talking about the final book of the day, and really my topic that, I want to ask you guys as well. We're going to be talking about Avengers of the Wastelands. This is issue 1. And now, if you guys read the Wasteland books, or I'm sorry, the Old Man Logan books and whatnot, and Old Man Quill, Old Man Hawkeye, what else was there? I don't even know what other old man stuff there was. Now you have the Avengers in the Wastelands. Okay. So basically, off of my topic here, I'm saying, is this a new era for the Avengers? Would you guys like to see a Ultimate Universe with more of these Wasteland characters? Because we've been getting more and more of it, right? And could you actually see this version of the Avengers be a possible movie or a TV show or whatnot? All right, so let's explain here what happens in the book, and then I can maybe you guys, I might sell you on this book, and hopefully you have some thoughts there. Okay, Ed Brisson is the writer who wrote Dead Man Logan. That was a 12-issue series. It was written really well, and Old Man Logan actually died in that last series. Okay, and now 2 years has passed since that time. Okay, and we get to see the character by the name of Dwight, who's this new Ant-Man in the book. And he basically rebuilt Forge's headquarters, everything that was destroyed from Dead Man Logan. Okay. And we get to see that Doom makes his appearance. Now, Doom is still alive and well in this series, and he basically is just trying to take over everything like Doom would, It's not unusual. And so Doom makes his appearance, and we wound up getting to see Luke Cage's daughter, which is Danny Cage, is the new goddess of thunder. Okay, she holds Mjolnir in this Avengers Wasteland. Then you have Bruce Banner's son, which is the Hulk, who's always green. Okay, so he is on the other side of it. Then we wind up seeing them meet up with Dwight, who is the Ant-Man in here. So those is your 3 Avengers. So we see Dr. Doom and his little cronies attack. We get to see the backstory of Dwight, which is quite interesting as well. Again, you get to see how he tried to rebuild everything. And now these 3 are teaming up to try to destroy Dr. Doom. So they go against his army. They go and they beat him up. And of course, it's not Dr. Doom. Who's it going to be, guys? Well, of course, it's the Doombot, right? And so they destroy the Doombot. They wind up prevailing at the end of the day. They defeat the rest of the army. And little do we see is we wind up seeing at the end, the last page is Captain America. What the fuck is that, dude? Captain America on the last page? Like, who is that? Captain America was dead, wasn't he? Because of the whole Old Man Logan stuff, and I was just like, oh, dang. So now you're going to have Captain America, you're going to have Bruce Banner Hulk, and you're going to have, or Junior, then you're going to have Danny Cage's daughter, and then you have this random guy that plays Ant-Man, right? This is like an establishment just like kind of like the movies, right? I mean, we saw all these individual movies, and then we wound up getting the Avengers movie come together, and you get to see Avengers for the first time. And what these Old Man books or Wasteland books are doing is they're establishing a team slowly but surely. We're introduced to Old Man Logan. We were introduced to Hawkeye. We were introduced to Bruce Banner Hulk. We were introduced to Danny Cage. Like, we're introduced to all these characters, and now they're forming the Avengers, because now you get Captain America that's thrown into this at the end of the book. And so now you're going to have the Avengers of the Wasteland book. So that's pretty cool. And this is a limited book. I think it's just only like 5 issues of this or whatnot. But wouldn't this be kind of cool to see as a movie, or even if this sold good enough, a regular like alternate universe Avengers book? I think this could be a lot of fun because you can explore lots of different things here. So that's what my question was kind of to you guys, like, would you like to see this, or even maybe not even in a movie, but just in a like a Disney Plus series or whatnot? So this could be potentially a new age of Avengers. I mean, we're talking about the next phase of Marvel comics, right, or Marvel movies, and it's just like you bringing back Avenger movies. Well, this could be the next Avenger movie in a way. So that's what I'm getting at when I came to this topic discussion about, this could be a possible movie. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what a few of you said here. Not too many comments, but we're going to talk about it here. So let's see. Tevia loved Thor. We talked about that. We have, what do you think of Justice League in Thor #2? Sorry, my internet come out. What did you think of Justice League? The Justice League in Thor #2? I didn't see the Justice League in Thor #2. I don't understand. Am I missing something? I totally missed it. If you want to point that out, let me know. Also, Thor had a DC Comics reference. Oh, so that was the DC reference. If you want to point that out, I kind of probably missed it or forgot about it. So let me know. And I'll probably remember it once you point it out to me. Some comic book hunter says, thanks for the subs, everyone. I try to add everyone in the chat. Rob says, thumbs up. Tevi says, so basically it's Mad Max Avengers. I guess so, because you're in a desolate land, right? And it takes place in there. But if you read the Old Man Logan stuff or Old Man Hawkeye stuff, you would know this world and you would know, what these characters are about. So yeah, basically a lot of people already died. Is there an Old Man Peter Parker? No, but there was Hawkeye's daughter, who is a Spider character, who was a villain that was in this book. And I forgot who he was married to have that daughter. Forgot it. It was in the Old Man Hawkeye. Rob goes, that sounds dirty. LOL. And then Tevi goes, I thought Captain America died in Old Man Logan universe. Yeah, like he did. And this book takes place in that. So that's why I'm curious, like, who has the suit now? Who has the shield? Who is the Captain America in this universe? And now they're reforming the Avengers in this universe because all the Avengers basically died in the last issue. Or not in the last issue, but in the previous series. Some comic book hunter says, wow, sounds crazy. I would like to see it in a Netflix show. Power Man, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, that would be sick. Yeah, I think it would. I think it could work. It's just something different. It's a different timeline, right? And then Slime says, when Thor is talking about saving a universe or something and denying them, you can see 5 figures. Oh, man, you're going to make me go through this right now, aren't you? I'm curious to see where that is. 5 figures, huh? I can't find it right now. I'm not going to be able to because I feel like I'm hanging you guys out. I'm going to have to look for it and see. I'll watch it look for it on my own time. But thank you for pointing it out. It's 5 streaks. Oh, was that in the beginning? Or was it the 3 streaks? Is it this? Is that what you're talking about? A sun god, a god of emerald light, a god of dark, perhaps, a god of ocean, of speed, and of strength. Yes, that's right. Okay, I do remember that. And I'm like, I thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, is that like a DC thing? Or is he doing is Donny Cates doing like a Jeff Johns thing? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I totally remember that now. All right, let's see. Tevi says, oh yeah, Spider Bitch. She was in Old Man Logan. Slime goes, or it might be like 6, like Tevia says. Yeah, it was. So thank you for pointing that out. So, yeah, guys. So lots of things to think about when it comes to the comic universe or TV universe or whatnot. But I think this could definitely have a potential for a TV series or something like that. I mean, we get the Mandalorian, right? That took place in like a desolate land, not much going on in there. So I can see that definitely happen. So yeah. And then we have a comment here that says Hero and the Kid, and that's the Daily Planet. So yeah, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed today's show. I really appreciate it. We talked about our 6 books. We talked about our comment today. We broke over 30 viewers, which was awesome. We have 32 right now. I kind of wish I didn't have to go, but I do have to go. And next week, I'll bring you a whole slew of other books to talk about. And guys, remember, make sure you actually, check out my other content, most anticipated comics of the week, my top 10 comic book covers of the week, where you guys can vote on your favorite comic book cover. That's a really fun series as it leads to the best comic book cover of the year. Obviously, don't forget about this show, my comic book haul, and things like that. And I do it every week. And stay tuned for a video that's coming out tomorrow where it's going to be talking about what editing software I use for my actual videos. So stay tuned for that one. You guys might want to check that out. So if you ever think about doing your own YouTube videos, that might be something to use, especially, on the mobile phone, because it's going to be based off of the mobile phone. So guys, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. Until next time, this is Mike Spiderslayer signing off, and I'll see y'all real soon. Have a great week, guys. Take care. Bye.